Awesome.
Yeah, I had to give him a shout out yesterday. Hey. So, yeah, maybe we should pick corn. What do you think? No?
I looked at it. I mean, it's gonna get as ready as it's gonna get because.
Yeah, like all of it, or?
Yeah, because I mean, the ones that have dark hair on top of them. The thing is,
Yeah.
but the thing is, they're not really.
It's not
Yeah.
taken off like.
Should have been like a little bit bigger than this.
Yeah.
'Cause look how thin this is.
Okay.
Normally they're about twice as big.
We'll have to
Like-
maybe just work the soil up a little bit
This
better
one-
for next year.
This one's probably just good for. Ooh, this one actually looks pretty good.
Okay. All right. We bring the wheelbarrow and we just throw them in there. We just take all the ones that look like this.
Awesome,
Oh,
actually.
that's pretty. This is the red.
Yeah. Or is it the? Yeah, it is.
It's labeled the red.
Awesome.
Wow.
And these will probably be used just for seeds. Oh, they're warm already. Yeah.
Worms got in there. Definitely one in here.
Yeah, these will be used for seeds for next season.
This one hasn't turned yet. But those ones that we picked that one day, that I just set them out and it turned red.
Really?
It did.
Awesome. Awesome.
It did, as it dried. So I thought that was cool. Yeah, see, this is so sparse.
Yeah, and it looks like it's not really.
Yeah, it's not mature, but it's not growing anymore.
Yeah, it looks like the worms got to this one on top, but still, these are. I mean, like I said, just dry them out and then take them off the cob and use them for
Okay.
next.
Okay. Oh, they're so different from each other.
They'll get darker probably because
Yeah.
look the color of
Yeah,
this
those ones change into like dark like that.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, so anything with like dark hair it's
Okay.
pretty much good to go.
Oh, and can you talk a little bit about where the seed came from?
The seed came off my mom's farm back in Arizona. We farm right there by the lake, Mini Farms Lake. It's the largest res lake on the Navajo Reservation. And we plant there every spring, and every fall we harvest all the corn, the watermelons, the squash, the zucchini, anything we plant, jalapenos, green peppers, you name it. We grows there, tomatoes. And so last season, Sunrise Project only did this like the first quarter of this garden, and they had the tomatoes, some tomatillos, and a little bit of I don't know what else they had, green peppers. But this year I was like, well, let's get some corn from back home and maybe some zucchini and squash, and so we did. And so that's how they came to be here in Kansas, which I was kind of like wasn't sure if it was gonna like take any kind of growth to it. I mean, like this. So this is all experimental. So it's actually turning out pretty decent for the first season that's here. And this is all from like back home in Arizona, like I said.
The colors are fabulous.
Yeah, they all have different. We planted each one. These ones are what's this one? The pink one. I think that one's the Indian corn, and the blue corn, and the I think one of them is yellow. They're labeled. So
Yeah,
this one's red.
The red.
So
Yellow might be the very last row.
I think it might be blue if I remember correctly.
This
I don't know.
one's really pretty.
See, and I noticed that when my mom packed the seeds for the zucchini and squash, she makes some other seeds in there because that's why there's different ones in there. I noticed there's like a pumpkin.
I was gonna ask
like a
you.
different
I
squash
was gonna ask you about that because we just thought they were all the same thing. So I was like,
I thought so too. And then,
why does it look like this? Yeah.
One's
okay.
kind of like round with it's like a little. It's a different kind of squash, I think.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how big those got.
This one's
but
awesome. And see,
is that ready? You think?
which one?
I can't tell.
Let me see.
See this thing's growing all the
no,
way
not
out
yet.
here. Yeah, I've been putting signs by him.
So they'll be ready as soon as it kind of.
As soon as that tendril dries up.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. The little stem to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, like this. Let's see it. This is not.
Yeah, that's not crooked.
It'll eventually like come out like a little bit more.
We
on the
picked one
side.
yesterday,
Oh really?
and I was set in a basket, and someone took it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it got
But
used.
there's more coming up, and there's a different one. I think the one Bosco got the other day there's another one growing somewhere over here in this area.
Oh, when she sent you that photo,
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah. Because I thought it was all cricket neck yellow squash, and it's not.
And how big do you like the
The zucchini ones, they can actually get
or
like,
the yellow ones?
they can actually get like this long,
Like get that long?
and the yellow ones, they usually get like maybe
Yeah,
this
about
big.
that long. But the zucchinis, yeah.
Yeah, the zucchinis are. I mean, we on the farm, we, usually they get like this long.
Okay.
And
These
so-
are doing really well.
I know. And so that one, I figured, well, that one's ready to go, so I just tossed it up there or picked it off. But yeah.
So, do you grind the corn for cornmeal? Or-
There's different ways to prepare corn to consume. One is you just pick it off like we've been doing right now, the ones that are ready, and you just steam corn. It's called steam, and you can. I've seen it when my mom does it in the oven, but usually it's like an adobe kind of style oven. You just steam the corn. You just pile it into that little oven after you have fire going for like at least an hour, and then you clear everything out, and then put all the corn in there, close it all up, and it steams for like maybe 45 to an hour, depending on how hot the fire was. And then once you take it out, you peel back the leaves, and there you have it, steamed corn. And then you can dry it and take the corn off the cob and save it for later, because then that's corn stew. Then there's another way, which is always the ones that everybody always wants, is where they take it off the stalks, and then they peel them back, cutting some of the ears away, and you take it back to the grinder and take all the kernels off the cob, and then you grind it into like a paste, and then
This is when it's raw and not cooked.
when it's
right?
still raw, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah,
fresh,
okay.
like after you just picked it off the plant, and then what you do is you take it off the cob with a knife, and then you put it into the grinder. It grinds it out to like a paste, and then you use that paste. It's almost like a tamale looking thing, and then you put that in the oven, and I don't know, 45 minutes later, you bring it out, and it looks like a little. I don't know how to describe it. It looks like a tamale, but there's no meat in there. But you can eat it with butter or salt, whatever, and that's another way. And let's see what else too. I think that's pretty much it for the time being. But I know that these things right here, the little top of these things have like little tiny pods, and usually if it doesn't rain too much, so when you water the corn, usually just water like below, like down. But these things right here, the crown of it, you can actually like tip it over in the morning, and you'll see that there's a little light dusting. That's corn pollen, and that's used for like religious use and whatnot, and like ceremonies and whatnot.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's used to like bless yourself, various like traditional ways. Other than that, that's what the corn is.
What is the Navajo word for corn?
Corn. Let me see. I gotta go think back. It is.
I'm putting you on the spot.
I know. What is it? It's like so simple too. Like one time, my friend asked me how do you say coffee, and I was like, for half a day, I was like, what is it? What is it? But see, being out here like away
Yeah.
from home usually tends to make you like forget little things until you get back home.
Yeah.
But
So
I'll think about it. But
think about it. So why I've never seen corn planted like in a clump like this. We always just planted a row of corn. Is there a reason to plant it like in a clump?
I don't know,
like
but
this?
that's
how you guys
how we
did
always
it.
done it. Usually it's like 7 kernels per 2 feet, and as you can tell, that's a pretty good space. But around here, everything seems to be like clumped together. So, but here, figured there'll be enough room to go in and out of the rows,
Yeah.
and that kind of helps too. So, and back home, you only do this, I think, particularly because there's snakes on the ground, and it's just not. Back home, there's like rattlesnakes, a bull snake, a racer snake, and the only one that's poisonous, of course, is the rattlesnake. But of course, you don't step on that. The only time you can step on a rattlesnake is if it's sleeping. But most of the time, it gives you a warning. So you just usually stop in your tracks when you hear a rattling noise. But then you look for it. Other than that, yeah.
Okay.
I had to think of the word corn.
Okay. Well, I put you on the spot, so
No, it's
that's
okay.
okay.
It's okay.
Okay, so how can we tell if it's right?
Okay, yeah.
You can
So-
tell when the
It's
top of the
brown, right?
yeah,
but it
when
seems
it's
kind
like
of
when it
not
this
filled.
one's still growing,
Okay.
and usually these are like twice the diameter, so but like I said, this is all experimental, and like as you can tell, the middle area is
It didn't grow as
yeah, it
well.
didn't grow as well as the ones on the very ends where I noticed that when we had planted those, the soil was a little bit thicker there, because here
Yeah.
you can only go so far before you hit the mesh and the gravel and whatnot beneath it. So that's
Well,
Which one is this row?
which one?
What
This
color
one?
is this? This one, right? No, this one. Is it blue?
Indian.
Indian.
It should be the mixed one.
So
They all look the same. But yeah, it should be like the blue, the
But
red,
when it
the
dries,
white, and the
yeah.
and like yellowish.
It has all those colors.
I showed a friend the picture of the pink corn that you
So
sent,
pretty.
and she said, "Oh, it looks like candy."
Yeah, it's gorgeous. That one had fallen to the ground, or somebody had picked it and it was on the ground, so it was dry
Yeah.
already. But
Oh, see, now here's some that where it's round, and this seems bigger. That's the blue.
Yeah, this is the blue corn, but as you can tell, the worms have gotten to these ones because,
what do you do about the worms? Do you guys just live with them?
yeah, you just take off what you
Just
can
live
save.
with it?
Yeah.
Oh,
And-
that one's cool.
But other than that, yeah, you see this one's ready to
It's
go.
like, you know, it's safe to eat if there's a worm in it, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, back home we don't spray for anything as far as like chemicals or pesticides or anything like that. So what you see is
Oh, that one's cool.
what you get. Oh, you can. Oh, smells like back home.
Let me
Goodness.
smell. Let me smell. Ah, it does. It smells fresh and like corn.
Smells like the farm back home. Oh wow.
So, do you use the silk for anything?
No.
Okay.
As far as I know, I have no clue what it's used for, but usually it's just there.
My understanding is that you can use some cultural groups use it to make a tea for your urinary tract.
I don't know. I never heard that, but that sounds.
So it's very it's very medicinal.
Yeah.
Now, does your family save the husks for making tamales?
Yes, you don't peel it like this when you first. If you normally you can like see like a good husk, and when you might peel a few back, and then you see a nice little husk. You cut it down as far as you can, and then take it and save it and put it aside. And then when you're done with the paste, grinding corn into a paste, you pour the paste inside the little husk, and you kind of like wrap it, like fold it on each other, so that and almost like a corn again, and
Right.
then you put it into the oven, and it bakes for like 45 minutes to an hour, and you bring it out, and it's like a piece of bread. It's like the weight of a bread at that point, and like I said, you can have it with butter, salt, whatever you want to use it with, or eat it, consume it with.
Can you make the paste with any of the kinds of corn?
Well, we always try to keep these like separate. I mean, when you're like making it, when you're gonna make something like that's a lot, then that's when you you can mix all the, like this corn will go with the red corn to go make a kneel down cornbread is what we call them. In Navajo it's called titikoy, which means kneel down corn, because you have to kneel down to go put it in the oven, and it's like, and it's usually hot, so
What is the name of it again?
titikoy.
Which means kneel down corn.
Kneel down cornbread, yeah. And so,
Okay, say it one more time. I'm so slow.
titikoy,
Sitagoy.
and
Okay.
means kneel down,
down,
and
okay.
then the corn. But the only time it really matters is when you're drying them, and then when you're gonna plant them, because you don't want to mix the blue corn with the red corn.
Okay.
So
Yeah. So then you want to keep them separate. Oh, they're beautiful.
Yeah, this one is awesome. And for being out here for the first time in Kansas from Arizona, that's
I
pretty
think
good.
it did okay.
Yes, it did.
Are there any other colors?
I don't know. I'm into the red and the blue.
That one's the blue, but I don't think that one's turned a lot. This one.
I'm amazed at how tall these are over here. How tall are you, Melissa?
I'm 5'9".
5'9". So okay, there we have that. You know, we can.
This one feels kind of like
Going back to your question about why we put them in clumps too, is because
this one doesn't
some of these,
feel-
most of them won't like all come to fruitation. So like you had to like see which ones will make it and which ones won't.
Oh, okay.
That's one of the reasons too. Plus that, you know, safety in numbers.
Safety in numbers. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, this one still felt like the silk on the outside was dried up. The inside, it's not mature.
It's not mature.
This one's not.
Okay. Oh, these are pretty, aren't they?
These ones are. I think that one's the Indian corn.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sure.